co-founder and executive producer of the Museum of Broadway. Thanks so much for being here and dressing in pink, all in theme. It's so cute. We're really, really happy to have so many people from the original Broadway cast of Legally Blonde here today. If you wouldn't mind just turning your cell phones on silent so they don't go off in the middle of the panel, that would be amazing. And I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin Hornick, who's the Deputy Lifestyle and Culture Editor at The Independent. Here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's give some snaps to the original Broadway cast. What a thrill to be with you today. Again, I'm Caitlin. I am the Deputy Lifestyle and Culture Editor at The Independent, and I am thrilled beyond words to be here with all of you today and these fabulous people. Just to, I know we all know who they are, but just in case. Today, we are joined by none other than Bundy. Miss Orfeh. Some fun facts about Legally Blonde, I'm sure you already know, but it just feels disingenuous to not give you a little recap of why we're all here. So, exactly 18 years ago today, Legally Blonde opened at the Palace Theater, right? I know, didn't mean to rub it in.
We were 10 years old when I started the show.
But Legally Blonde is legal. The show ran for 30 previews and 595 performances, received 7 Tony Award nominations, and
3 of them right here.
And now we're here to celebrate, so let's get down to it. Hey. All right, let's do it.
Just a regular Wednesday.
Just a regular
It's Tuesday, though. So come be regular. So good.
So let's start by talking about the fun shoes that broke the internet, all the fun items that are going to be living at the museum now.
Well, I have had in my basement or garage or storage unit for 18 years 2 big bins of that robe was in it. All my show shoes and my rehearsal clothes and opening night gifts and jackets and dog bag and when I heard about the Museum of Broadway, I thought, wow, this is a really great time to Marie Kondo it. And offload these items to the museum. So probably the most famous item item in the bins was the infamous shoe that flew off my foot during So Much Better, which surprisingly millions of people have seen now.
So set the scene. Back one. Talk about Elle's emotional journey up to that point.
Elle was very excited because she was feeling so much better. And it was at the end of the number, and she got so excited that...
She, method actor, go.
Yeah.
Wow. Still got it.
That she kicked her leg up. And when she did it, the first time in San Francisco, with no straps on, it flew all the way to the back of the house. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I did not wear theater shoes in the show. I refused to wear those ugly dance shoes because she had the line, "You've got the best freaking shoes."
That's why.
And and I see they're in rehearsals they bring the shoes over, they're fitting me for the shoes, and they look hideous, like hospital shoes. So Jerry and I had a discussion. We were like,
Jerry Mitchell, the director.
He goes, "Would you, well, should we just get like Pradas and Gucci's and, designer shoes for you?" And I said,
And Laura Bell said, absolutely not.
That's why. They didn't have a strap at first, and they put a strap on, and then it happened again, and that's the one that's on the internet, the second one, and then they put an industrial strength elastic. And that is now in the glass display that you will be able to see.
What are we doing sitting here? Where's all go?
Incredible. Speaking of the internet, I think this came up in the panel this morning. For those who weren't here, there was an amazing panel on Legally Blonde, the search for Leibowitz. It was great. I streamed it from work, don't tell my boss. So they were talking this morning about how the show has had such amazing life beyond Broadway, and how the internet wasn't really as big a deal back then.
What are we shushing about? It didn't exist.
I'm just trying not to age
Not
us.
really. Not like this.
No, not like this.
No.
Exactly.
You couldn't get a record deal because you were on TikTok.
Don't you have MySpace?
No, I'm choosing to delete that.
But so the show, there are so many viral online moments that have become part of the zeitgeist. Like Courtney, take your break. Courtney, take your break. So what does it mean to? Right, I know. What does it mean to know that you were part of, something that is like the original cast, in a show that has taken on life that is just so far beyond what kind of ever existed on Broadway? The culture around the show is so exquisite, and it has such a devout following. Did you ever imagine back then, in the early days of Broadway, that we would be here today?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and I had so much fun doing this show, and it was by far the lightest, fluffiest thing I'd done, especially for a long time. Because if you're a girl and you're tall and you're in the theater, you're much more likely to be cast as like a sex worker or someone who does a lot of drugs. So I played those roles. That's true.
Vivian wasn't a sex worker, drug addict?
Okay.
She was in my version of Legally Blonde.
And the junior
Anyway.
version.
The other thing that was wild was that we opened the same season as Spring Awakening, and so my back of the envelope calculation was that all the sort of teenagers who were trying to find their place in the world would flock to Spring Awakening, and they did. But I didn't anticipate that same group or that same age group, that same season showing up for us in the way that they did, and continued to. It was amazing. It was amazing.
I think when your show is taped for prime television and MTV and then it gets uploaded to YouTube, it becomes something that's much easier for schools to put on because they just tell the kids to watch the video and do that.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I can't tell from your tone whether you have.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great that happened. But I believe that that's why that the show had the life, because people got to see the show, because it was illegally uploaded to. It was the Illegally Blonde. But I'm so glad it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with art and theater and everything, timing is everything, right? And I think I had always thought that this show was brilliant. And I thought it was so funny and so irreverent and so spot on and so of the moment, and yet also somehow timeless. And it just was the quote unquote wrong year for it. And I think when that happens, it's like we could have come out in the right year, quote unquote, and been exploded with popularity and all this attention, and then sort of maybe fizzled or plateaued. And instead, it came out in a year that everyone flocked to Spring Awakening. It was like sort of everyone was doing that. And then over time, doing the TV thing, people just finally tuned in and we're like, wait, this one. And I think that's why it has the life that it has and why all of you are here. And it's so.
I always say to everybody, because Laura Bell and I hang out to this, like Paulette and Elle, it's a real thing. But I always say it's so unbelievable that we're so much more well known now than we were when we were in the show. So like it's had this incredible life beyond that because of the MTV thing, and then now people do the taping and the filming and all that, and I'm always the one like, we did it first. So, but it's incredible that TikTok is like, there's something like 8 billion views for Legally Blonde, and it's like, well, seriously, and I fancy myself a millennial, but anyway, so that's, who would have ever known that the life beyond that point in time would have existed? Because we should have had a much longer run. We really should have, and that's the truth. But what now we really have, and where are all those other shows? I'm just saying. So, huh? Not up to us.
Well, that's a great segue to my next question. If the show were to have renewed life on Broadway, give me your dream cast right now.
I'm sure you've done this. You've thought about this.
Yeah, but I always cast myself. And then I would like Christian would play Callahan, like Laura Bell would still play Elle in my motherfucking version. I'm just saying, Kate would still be Vivi. But in my perfect world, I refuse to think of other people. But I do have my dream cast. What is yours dream cast? And if you don't mention me, I'm leaving.
You in every role.
Thank you. Yes, like Cher's West Side Story, whoever said, absolutely. So, but
I'd
who
see
knows?
that. I'd see that every day.
I'd be exhausted, but it'd be fabulous. I don't know, who would your?
Oh, I don't know. Every time I think of somebody who could be Elle, it takes too long for a revival to happen and they age out.
Exactly.
I had always thought Dove Cameron would be it. But I don't know. Anybody else have thoughts?
Kiki, the hairstylist, is timeless, and I can play
True.
at any age, I feel like. And maybe like Jordan Fisher could understudy me. Spitballing. No, but I said this a little bit in the panel this morning. I think the show's life is so beautiful in young people's lives, especially during the pandemic with TikTok. It's such positive messaging for the spirit of Elle Woods and the entire cast. Young queer people can get on board with it, with Gary European and their icon legend, Matt Rich. But I teach a lot and I go to so many schools, and to see the way the show affects them, it's accessible. They can do it in their schools. They're singing these songs, they're saying these lines, and it's more powerful than maybe a lot of the other shows they're doing that they may not connect to so much in this like modern empowerment way. So it's a great.
They are doing their very best to sing those songs. I will never get over Courtney Take Your Break. I will never get over the way that has become such a thing, and that you don't realize that, honey, that actually is like a tricky little part of the voice. Where are you gonna put it? Where are you gonna put it? And I just will never get over the way Courtney Take Your Break. I truly went into a full K-hole one day and watched it was just a Courtney Take Your Break montage. And I was like 15 minutes in, and I was like with my pal, and we were watching it, and we were like, oh shit, there's like 30 more minutes. I think we're done. But it was wild. It is.
Little girls.
I really just.
Here's the question though: is Amber Ife a part of that movement? I have not heard her chime in about it. I don't see her on social media.
I don't know.
She's the OG Courtney Take a Break.
And she
Galen
sang the
does.
hell out of it. We ran into each other.
Yeah, something like that.
She's a smarty smart.
A lawyer, and I think she's like, I'm out.
Yeah, we ran into each other one day in Harlem on the street, and she has like a beautiful baby, and she's living and slaying. So, Courtney is taking a break. You know.
That's incredible. Speaking of the relationships you've forged kind of in this show and building a show, who are you still in touch with? Obviously, besties over here. You hang out all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Who else are you still tight with? Are there any bonds that kind of emerged after the show's life on Broadway?
Me and Laura, we weren't friends before the show, and then
Microphone.
And then we became very close through, and then we've stayed close ever since.
Yeah, Paul and I, we basically shared a hotel room in San Francisco when we took the show out of town and spooned.
I would make her get up and do Ruthless, numbers from Ruthless as we go to bed. We're like, do it again.
I think we've all of us here have remained close. At least I've remained close to all of you.
I didn't get an invitation to your recent birthday party like everybody. Just saying.
That was on mic.
Live stream.
We are all still on a giant group chat.
Yes.
So that's, yeah, we're on a giant group chat. I mean, Jerry Mitchell, the director, he's on it. Larry Nell, it's so fun.
Heather.
Yeah.
I have remained really close friends with Christian since the show, and last summer I had the pleasure of having the honor of marrying him to his wife at our house to me. That's how close the friendship is.
Yeah.
No, but I mean we've remained, and it's lovely.
And Paul was in my wedding.
I was.
Yes, was one of my bridesmen. And I think I really feel like we all connected deeply during the show, and I love all of you.
Wait, I want to say a thing. Kevin will also do your wedding as Elle's dad.
That's a good gig, Kevin.
I could do it as Enid Hoops.
Excellent. So,
We're all available.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, when it comes to casting the revival, I mean, it's not that most of us had never worked on Broadway before, but everybody didn't know who we were, and I feel like the show got to shine because of that. Like, we all got to show up and do our best job, and there wasn't, obviously Laura Bell had a much bigger a burden to carry, like carrying that whole show, but the show was the star and she was the star. So I don't think about stunt casting it. I think about like young actors who are probably younger than we were when we did it. But also, the thing that happens when you do a show for that long, especially a show you really like, is that it creates a community. So I haven't seen some of these folks in a few years, but it doesn't mean that we aren't, like, we sort of picked up where we left off about 45 minutes ago downstairs.
Well then, I mean, being a part of the Broadway community, which is the best community there possibly is, we do, like Christian and I downstairs, there was a Thoroughly Modern Millie program. We joined Thoroughly Modern Millie in 2003, the same time, the same week. Then we went on to do Blonde. Natalie joined Kinky Boots on the tail end of me performing, and there was like my sister coming into the show. I'm like, welcome. And then Galen joined Kinky Boots. Yeah. And Jerry Mitchell has that, he's kind of the father of a cast that is so tight and so led with positivity and light that is so beautiful, which is why I follow him anyway.
Just to get on that train, Jerry, let me take a break. Jerry is really good at putting people together. I mean, he's always said, like, I want to have dinner with you. Like, I want to be able to have dinner with these people. Like, that's his thing. He's so good at knowing who's going to get along and who's going to have fun. And he knows that it all trickles down from the top, and that fun times equals, a good show. Yeah. He's so good at that, and I don't take that for granted because, honey, I've been in some shows where that's not the case. Yeah. And it's not as fun. And the show isn't as good.
Yeah. I always thought, like, Jerry is vibrating at a certain level, and he brings in people that are vibrating at a similar level, and then we all end up connecting because we're there, together.
Yeah.
Because he is so full out, like, I mean, Jerry would do the jump rope, like, every day with everyone, and he, of course, let me be you. But when it was like the first couple days of rehearsal, he invited those of us that weren't in the number, that were, had lines in the number and weren't jumping the rope, hey, if you want to come in and jump with us, go for it. I made it a day and a half, never to return for that early hour. It's like, have fun, you guys. But he would jump that rope every day with everyone, and he just has this, he is full out, and he demands that you also be that, but because he is leading by such like a strong example of fun and dedication and just going for it, you have no choice but want to like rise to that occasion. And like literally I would take Rusty aside and poor Michelle Cottrell every 5 or 10 minute break that we had. They didn't have one because I was like, shuffle, hop, step, shuffle, hop, step. Let's do it. Teach me this Irish dance because I am not getting fired because I don't know how to do this goddamn 16 bars of a tap. So anyway, full out, babe.
It's also like, I completely forgot about this till we started talking about Jerry, but it's hard to believe, but I'm pretty sure, wasn't this the first Broadway show he directed?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like it's wild because of everything he's done since then. Because he was always going to be a Broadway director, but I've worked with him since, and it's just awesome to see like somebody at the top of their game for so long and how they grow and develop.
Yeah, he's the best.
That's beautiful. I love we just went on like a whole journey there. That was amazing. What is one thing that stands out that you remember 18 years later that was a pivotal moment during the show, during rehearsals? Give us a memory.
Perhaps you're not familiar with the golf cart incident. Was that yours?
Yeah, that was mine as well.
Oh, because it was absolutely unbelievable when it happened. We were all doing, it was the remix. It was the remix. Right. And the guy who was driving the golf cart was the...
Jody Renard.
Right.
We're naming names.
But Jody had never had a chance to drive the car. He had never driven it in real time on the stage, in that scenario. With lights, the whole thing. We're dancing the remix. The cart comes out and does this wide circle, and I could just tell that it was not going to make the turn. And the rear left wheel of the cart went off the apron of the stage. So now the cart is like upended a little bit on stage left. All of us on stage, dancing monkeys, we're still going, there's no stopping, the cart's there, and two crew guys come out and they're trying to get the cart, but because the weight of the cart is now hanging over the pit, there's no way for them to lift it. 2 men in the house in suit and tie walked down the aisle to the cart and pushed the cart back up onto the stage. And literally saved that thing from that, because there was no way, we were going to have to stop the show.
Oh, yeah.
So,
People could have died.
yeah, people in that pit, I swear the people in that pit did not know that cart was hanging.
No, there was a whole group in the front row that was like, and then my back was to the audience the entire time, because that's when you like run and go. That's where you run and go. And they were like, our new Kyle came over and he's like, Paulette, what's going on? I said, I have no fucking idea. And the entire audience, because I didn't know why everybody was, I couldn't see, my back was to the audience. And literally they're like all laughing. She's always, this is Laura Bell, you know something's going on, this is happening. And she's doing this, everyone's like this, I'm going, are my pants off? Did something happen? I didn't know. Remember that, we'll talk about that. But literally I'm going, and he's like, Paulette, what's going on? And I look back and there's a mass of people literally shoving the golf cart back on the stage. And then we just finished the number and we never had to stop the show because of the fine, strong, burly men that came and put the thing back on stage, and we're crying, she's crying, this one breaks, and you could just go, ugh, and he's like convulsing. So Kate's trying to keep it together.
No.
Well, not that day, but we were all like, what is, and I'm clueless, I'm going, oh, that, and I went, oh, whatever. So yeah, that was one of the times.
I think that I wasn't there. I was on the road doing Legally Blonde at that point, but I heard about it, and my favorite detail that I heard about it is that Jody was playing Elle's single black gay dad, because there were so many people out of the show that also there was no mom, there was no Elle's mother, so it was literally just giving like single gay dad of Elle Woods driving the golf cart into the audience, which I just love. I think that's amazing. It tracked.
So ahead of its time in so many ways, this show.
Well, there was also, please talk about the wig incident.
Oh, well, there was more than one.
Well, yeah, but you
incident.
asked.
But my favorite one was when I bent and snapped so hard my wig flew off. And right, I had it just went.
And there's the wig cap, and I'm like grabbing the wig, go.
It was right before bend and snap happened. She's like, bend and snap, what's that? And I'm like, the bend and snap.
And we're like,
Flew off,
I think I even tried to like tease
yes,
it.
you
So I was like, I want to thank everybody for coming to see Legally Bald. And I was like, hey, Paulette, want to help me put my hair back on? And like, yeah, well, yes, you're in the hair fair, sit in the chair. And so,
the things we would do on the
everybody,
spot.
all of the Delta News in the scene, the PMS girls, they took out their hairpins, and you did too, and you brought the wig over that you were fluffing and teasing, and they put the wig back on, but what they didn't realize is that they put the back in the front. No. And the whole rest of the number, I'm like this.
Oh, they realized it.
I look like Cousin It. And then I'm trying to do bend and snap after that. The wig is not secure, and every time, like, how many bend and snaps are in bend and snap?
Well, you had like 73 at the end.
It's just
Yeah.
like I kept grabbing my head. And so that was one of my favorite moments. There are other moments. What are the moments?
Sweet Bill Berloni trained all of our amazing doggies in the show, who we just realized all of them have since passed on
Not Bill.
to the. Bill is doing great. He just did another production of Legally Blonde. But one of the most special experiences that I had at the Palace was he would always come to my dressing room with Chico, and we would have bonding time because we had bits that we had to do on stage together. And just that 5 minutes of like hearing the knock and then Chico running in and jumping on the couch and getting like, my job was to bond with this amazing Chihuahua. He was so beautiful. That was one of my favorite parts of the entire endeavor.
Do you remember when, was it Boo was on?
Yes.
And Boo was tiny. Boo was like 3 pounds, right? And the crowd made a lot of noise, and it was, when the dog came out, obviously, and it was a real focus of the trainers to make sure that the dogs that they were using for the show could handle all that, like that wall of sound coming at them. I remember one day, and I haven't thought about this in forever, the dog just turned around and rapped. and Anna Lee, who's supposed to do that, like, talk and ask a question, and then the dog barks at you. Like, she had to just make it up because there was no dog.
Mill Valley Mill.
And fun fact, Orfeh adopted Boo, and I adopted Teddy, dog, who's kind of the dog of the reality show, which was super fun. And yeah, shout out to the dog.
And I adopted Christian.
Rough.
He rarely talks about the 5 minutes in the dressing room that I came.
Every single night.
For the 5 minutes I came in there.
Too soon.
What is happening right now?
I love this. Reliving just such glory days. All the things. What is one piece of advice you would give your younger self, knowing what you know now, having gone through the Legally Blonde process, circuit, however you want to call it? What would you tell your younger self?
Call in sick when you feel sick.
Yes.
If you're tired, take a break. I mean, I was like a bit of a workhorse.
Courtney, take your break.
Courtney, take a break. You guys will be happy to know that my assistant's name is Courtney.
Was it on purpose?
No, for real.
We
Wasn't
call her
always.
Courtney.
Her name's Sarah.
But I think. Sorry. Anyway, that would be me. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, and preserve your gift. I definitely pushed myself hard because I had a lot of expectations on me, and I wanted to do the show. I loved doing the show. It was so fun, and I wanted to be there. But I think doing that in the press and everything, there at some point you do reach a limit. I didn't necessarily see that in the beginning. Now I'm much more mindful of it because I had to repair post-show. But that would be the note that I would give my younger self, is to just get quiet, listen to your body, and take care of yourself, because you are not just a one-show gal. There's more shows to go.
Mine, it's actually something I've just gotten better at as I get older. Just enjoy it while you're doing it, not when you look back at it. If you're involved in something that you think is extraordinary, take the time to look around and be like, this doesn't come along every day. And that used to be hard, and now it's much easier.
Can I just ask you a quick question while you have the mic? So sorry. This was on my list of questions because the fans want to know, how satisfying was it to hit that note in the remix? Was it fierce?
It was very fun. I had to really pace myself during my extraordinary Irish dancing. So that I wasn't winded. But I've said this so many times over the years, that was like a party trick I had from college. And then when we were doing the workshop, I was like, it's the only song I sing in this show. And then everyone else comes in. And I feel like there might be something at the end where I could just pull focus like crazy.
Good party trick.
Right?
I would.
I filmed a bunch because I had this little camera, and Laura would host a dance party before the show, every show in San Francisco. Jerry would join, just got everybody going. And I filmed all that, but we didn't have social needs. We didn't have I'm not posting this right away. We just kind of did it for us.
Yeah.
And I think that is a valuable way to live in the present moment, which we all did, out of town, opening the show on Broadway, without the distraction of this is gonna be we're gonna post this and I have so many fans and followers and likes.
Right.
No Tino shaped any of that, because now we all are writing that ride.
But it's almost as if life was better without social media. It's such an interesting point that you make. Isn't that fascinating?
Oh shit!
I'll stand over here.
Rose has just walked in.
What did you learn? What did you do?
Oh my gosh, now I feel embarrassed. Sorry, I busted in.
Come over and sit here. There's a stool right here.
Oh, there is.
Hi.
Do you want a water?
Let's start over.
Original
The most
swing
dramatic
in the
thing
show.
The most dramatic story. I need to. What's the real question?
Any advice you would give to your younger self, having been through the Legally Blonde process?
Oh, yeah. I was a swing. And we all know what a swing is, yeah? Understudy for the chorus and then understudy sometimes for other lead parts. And this was the second time I swung, so I think my advice to my younger self would be, have fun, girl! I was taking everything real seriously, which is good. Yeah. It's a job. That's right. But then sometimes I went on for this guy. I'm a lady. That was a guy. It was a thing that I literally never watched before. So yeah, just have more fun. Have more fun. Thank you.
Jump rope when you can.
Jump rope all the time, yeah. Anytime.
Incredible. Let's do a little lightning round. What do we think? I pass the mic as well. I'm gonna ask something, and you're just gonna go one at a time and give me your answer. It's all Legally Blonde related, obviously. You wanna start us off?
I don't care. Yes, I do.
I love that, thank you. Favorite song in the show?
It's a lightning round. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys.
So much better.
So much better.
What you want. With an honorable mention, I really like Love and War, which turned into Love and War. Love and War was good, but
Love and War.
yeah.
Oh my God, for its sticking ability.
I'm gonna be different, say whipped into shape.
I have to say What You Want only because I got to do 2 featured bits in it.
Yes.
And it was my favorite number.
Can you give us the one at the end?
What? Oh, yes, that's the only thing I'll ever be, it'll be on my tombstone. It'll say, here lies Kevin Paraso, welcome to Harvard.
Somebody give me that clip.
It's everybody's
I love a B-side. I'm gonna go with Take It Like a Man. I always loved, I mean, watching these two work is always wonderful. And it really was like it's such a beautiful moment in the show. And I would get chills watching it, and I loved it. That's my favorite.
I agree. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, I feel like it's really hard because there's so many good ones. But Take It Like a Man, I always loved it. And also, Not for Nothing. Even though I hated it when they first changed the lyric to drop the top and just drive, I also love the ballad.
Yeah, it's
The ballad, yes, the ballad.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful and so angsty. Round 2.
Oh. Let's go back right there.
Favorite character?
Hated.
What'd you say? Carlos.
Dean of Harvard. Kiki the hairstylist, and Sandeep Padavada.
The swings.
Courtney.
Paulette.
Woods.
Bruiser.
And lastly, would Elle get into Harvard today?
Let's talk politics.
Yes, we're going with yes.
Yes.
She needs to get into Harvard. Yes. Now.
That's the right
Maybe she has a
answer.
multiculturalism.
Incredible.
Girls in college. What?
Our time together is slowly coming to an end. I know, we're having so much fun. One final question, you're allowed to say no. If we clear out these chairs, can we do a bend and snap together?
I've never done a bend and snap.
First time! If Kate does.
If you do one too.
Come on.
As I teach so much, we teach the bend and snap.
Yes.
But now I do an adult dance class. When we bend, we snap. We gotta keep everyone happy.
I love that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I want Christians bend and snap.
All right.
I'm doing it one at a
Can
time.
we rate that?
It's a group, it's a team effort, team effort. Let's do it. Paul, do you want to show us? Like before?
I thought we were awesome.
It has to be done.
I was really ready to group activity.
Oh God, everything hurts.
Just have fun with it, everyone.
Have fun, everyone.
Pull out. How to do the bend and snap, so you have to do it. Come on.
I'm pretty
I
sure
see
it's
a
lot of people doing this before shows now. What is this? And I always think we're doing it in stuff. It's like a.
Well, we're gonna say that's what it is. Okay.
It's the blood flow. Yeah, it's Tai Chi. Anyway, sorry.
Let's do it, ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. We band!
Nailed it. Book the blast. Incredible. Yes. Thank you all so much for being with us.
Yes,
We're going to
thank
get
you
a
for
group
coming.
photo and just stay in your seats for a few more minutes while we navigate our photo. But thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for watching our coverage of the original Broadway cast of Legally Blonde, the musical, right here at the Museum of Broadway. See you at the show.
That's going to be in this one. And then I'll send it to you.